All right, guys, lots to take away from last night, to learn from. Me personally, as a team, as an offense. Um, Defensively, I want to commend those guys for doing an incredible job. You're talking about a team that had 3 mental errors when our goal was 10 or under. All right. I don't like to give a lot of details, but that's a fascinating stat from the standpoint of what they did and how they played together. Um, we have total confidence in everybody that's on our team that they have the ability to step up and play well whenever they're called upon. And I thought TJ, Eric, Mitch, um, Justin just had gotten here 24 hours prior to that, and Jermaine. They did a great job in the back end of things. We're physical in the run game, and really didn't allow anything over their head, which they had been known to do before. Offensively, we're not quite there yet. We're going to continue to work and get better. Um, and that started today and making some corrections and things that we were doing and things like that. And I think everybody's committed to doing that. Special teams was very solid last night. You were looking at one of the better special teams in the National Football League, and I thought we did a good job in that area. Made all of our kicks. The punter had a couple of off kicks, but other than that, he came back and punted the ball pretty well. We're 3 games into a 16-game season, so that means we have 13 left. We're worried about Baltimore moving forward. Um, and so we need to prepare for Baltimore this week like it's the only game of the year, because that's the only one that matters right now. So with that, injury-wise, I think we got out of the game without any serious injuries, just some bumps and bruises. Uh, we should be getting some of our other guys back, which is probably more day-to-day things than anything. So with that, I'll take any questions.
What do you wish you could have done differently on that?
That was quick, wasn't it?
That final series. Talked about it last night, maybe, at least one run or something there. Now that you've had a chance to look at it, what do you wish you could have back there?
Well, you do a good job. They had killed a couple of timeouts in each half. Um, so they were down to 1 timeout at the end of the first half and at the end of the second half, at the end of the game there. And I thought we did a good job of keeping those timeouts. And you keep them for those reasons. And being critical of myself, I do wish I'd have given the ball to Nick one time. But it didn't happen. But, as you move forward, I think, and I have to understand this, I know our coaches understand this, and I think our team understands this, that some of these situations, hell, they're new for me, I understand that, but I also understand I'll get better from them, and I understand our team will get better from them. Our team hasn't been in that situation before, so our team will get better. The next time that arises, we'll be better because of it. And the thing I want to stress to everyone is we're building this thing. As the season goes on, we want to be playing our best ball the further we get into the season. We want to play better this week than we did last week, and we did that. We want to play better next week than we did this week, and we'll do that. So, this is a continual climb to where we want to go and where we want to be as a team. And collectively, individually, and collectively, we will get there.
Did you expect, though, Freddie, things did go so smoothly in the last half of the season. Did you expect it to just pick right up where you left off?
No, I did not, because no 2 teams are ever the same. You can bring the same team back, all right, with the same players, have played together for another year, and it won't be the same. And so I knew there was going to be growing pains. We've got a lot of guys here that weren't here last year, so there's going to be growing pains. But the one thing we've done is we've continued to get better, and I want to see that to continue to happen, and we'll be fine. Nobody's panicking. We're not panicking. But we also understand the shortcomings that we've had. I understand the shortcomings that I've had, and I'm going to get better. Our team's going to get better, and it's always a continue. We started training camp with this mantra that we want to get better every day. We just want to live in the moment, be in the moment, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be in the moment. As situations arise, we get better at those. We try to prepare ourselves for those moving forward, so we handle those situations good. So it falls into that category. No two teams are ever the same. And, I mean, you're not going to pick up where you left off. Nobody does, you know. I think, I'm not going to talk about any other teams, but there's no team in the National Football League that picked up where they left off.
Freddie, last night when you were talking about the sequence from the 4, you said I should have called a more direct run. Was there something that got changed? Was there like an RPO called or something and somebody got moved? Or?
It just should have been a better play call. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get any more details other than it should have been a better play. I should have put our guys in a better situation to make a play when they needed to make a play. And that's on me.
Was the 4th and 9 an RPO too?
Again, that's the same thing. I should put them in a better situation, better play call. I thought that's what you were asking about. Was it the 4th down call or down in the red zone? From the 4. Okay.
More direct run.
No, it's the same thing. I should have called a better play in general. So.
It looked like the whole middle was open on that 4th down. Should he have just changed it and ran it in? Freedom to do that if he sees a wide.
No. I should have called a better play, all around play that everybody knows what they're doing on, and not to insinuate nobody knew. Everybody did the right thing. I should have called a better play.
Baker said that he'll be having recurring nightmares about missing Jarvis underneath on 3rd down. It looked like he had him on that slant. What did you see on that? What do you tell Baker about it?
Well, I like Baker because he takes ownership in things, all right? But again, I need to put Baker in a better situation. That's my fault. That's solely my fault.
The Harris catchable?
I don't know. You watched the game too, but I would say this, that it's our job as an offense. It's my job as a coach to put those guys in good situations that they can succeed at. So it's their job to make the plays. Everybody understands that portion of it. I just need to do a better job consistently putting these guys in a better situation.
You said you were going to kind of fuse your two offenses together and make the Cleveland Browns offense. Without getting into specifics, I'm just curious, how much of what you're trying to run right now, percentage-wise, is maybe Todd, and is that maybe complicating a little bit as far as what some of the issues are offensively, trying to incorporate those concepts and run them successfully?
This is 100% the Cleveland Browns offense, so we're not going to start that.
You seem to be holding up just fine, but there's an upper order team with high expectations, being off to a 1-2 start and all that. But do you just kind of resolve all of the, not that you listen to the external heat, but do you resolve the disappointment within yourself, or do you have like sounding boards, whether it be Dorsey or somebody else that you talk things out with?
I think I'll say this about this organization, and I've got tremendous resources right here in this building, from an organization standpoint and from a coaching staff. If I ever do need, it seems like you may be insinuating that I need some kind of psychology help at times. But if I ever did, I would have that resource too. All right? But I'm doing just fine. I can, I could go deep with you right now, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say I'm doing fine. They're going to get, and our players know, the only ones that matter, our players know that they're going to get the best they've got from me, that I've got every day, every week, every game. I'm pretty sure they have my back just like they know I've got theirs. So we will be just fine moving forward. I really, truly appreciate your concern. I do. But we're going to be fine. I promise you that.
Rather than a psychologist, to be honest, do you think the team needs a blocking back or a guy who can block in short yardage? You seem to be hampered in play calling.
Tony, that is not. I did not expect that question coming in here today. I didn't. But you know what? We are continuing to look for guys to block. All right, because and I'll say this, I thought we ran the ball very efficiently last night. So when you don't have the prototypical fullback, you have to be more imaginative in how you scheme to run the football. And I thought we did a good job of running the football last night. Are we missing a guy that can lead block? You know, I always take good football players. Are we missing one? I would not say so. I think we've got guys that can do the things that we need to do in our offense. We just need to do them better. I need to call better plays. We need to be more efficient on how we go about our business.
Is running the offense, calling plays, running the team, managing the game, is that more overwhelming than you thought it was going to be?
Not at all, really. It's I could elaborate on it more, but it's really not as it's not even as much as I thought. So that's kind of a non-issue. I don't ever want that to be part of the problem. That has nothing to do with me calling better plays, me coming up with a better plan during the course of the week, and us executing the plan. That's not an issue.
So there's no consideration right now of maybe not calling the plays, taking that off your shoulders.
Yeah, you can write that if you want to, but that's not even feasible. That's not being considered. No, it's not.
You plan ahead. Would you have? Were you thinking if you scored there at the end, would you have gone for 2 or 1?
Wouldn't you like to know that? You really want to know, don't you?
Yeah, especially since we were on deadline. But yeah, go ahead.
I can't tell you that. I give away my secrets for later. You know, we went there last night. I'll say this: we went there last night to win the football game. So you can draw your conclusions from there. But we went there with the soul. I don't care how many guys we had out. You know, everybody was panicking about that, but not in this building. All right, and we went there to win the football game. We put ourselves in position to win it at the end, and we didn't get the job done. I did a poor job at the end of the game. We did a poor job executing. Our defense gave us every opportunity to win the game. Our special teams did every opportunity to win the game. Offensively, we got ourselves down there, and then I didn't do a good enough job at the end of the game to win it. So,
did the end of the game feel similar at all to the end of the finale last year in Baltimore, where you needed guys to make a play? You know, it was kind of do or die situation, and you couldn't do it then. Did that come through your head at all last night?
I would say it didn't, but it's a good memory on your part. But I will say this: last year's end of that game was a learning process for me as a play caller, and so I feel like I'm more ready to handle that situation now than I was last year. Next time this situation occurs, I'll be more ready next time. You know, I'll put our guys in better situations.
Freddie, you referenced kind of going through this for the first time, learning a little bit, as you go as a first-time head coach. What from your background do you think can help you as you kind of navigate a little bit of adversity here?
I think everything I've ever done, there's been adversity to. I'm not, the one thing our players know about me is I'm not going to panic, all right? And I'm going to stay who I am. Whether you like it, dislike it, it doesn't really matter to me. But I know our players have trust and confidence in me that I won't panic, and that, I'll do my very best to put them in situations to be successful. My life, though, has been all about adversity. This is nothing, all right? This is just doing your job a little better next time out, all right? And hopefully that answers your question,
Freddie, you mentioned, I think, with the Rams last night that they've been together for a few years doing this. You said last year when you took over, you guys have been together for half a year so you could roll into it a little bit. Understanding you want to get better every week, right? How long do you think it takes for a new group to get it? To feel like, okay, this is really us. Is it half a year? Could it be a whole season? When do you think you might reach that point with you guys?
I don't really know how to answer that question other than to tell you I just want to see constant improvement. And I think we're doing that. I think we're better at certain things this week than we were last week. we had a couple of drives there that we just didn't finish the drive, but we moved the ball, got ourselves down there and ended up kicking field goals instead of finishing the drive. It's a totally different outlook if you just finish those drives, even the one in the first quarter. So I just want to see constant improvement. I don't know when, I don't even know how to judge on all cylinders per se, Even going back to last year, there was things last year we could have done better, So I just want to see constant improvement. And if we're better next week than we were this week, then that's improvement. I want to be playing our best football at the end of the year. That's the way all good teams do it. Every good team that I've ever been on was like that. So that's what I want to see.
What did Baker do better last night than in the previous 2 games?
I thought he found the guys over the middle of the field a little better. But again, it's so much of playing quarterback has to do with people around you. So I think everybody needs to take ownership and do their job a little bit better or more consistently. I wouldn't say better, just more consistently. So we can be more consistent on offense, because in spurts yesterday we moved the ball. I just don't think we did it consistent enough for anybody's liking. So I think everybody's bought into the fact of that's what we need to do, and that's what we continue to try to do.
Odell's getting so many double teams and they're rolling the safety over and stuff. How do you guys make that work for you?
Well, I think, we can use that to our advantage on the other side of the field, and then it's hard for them to do that when we put him on the other side. Odell's lining up in several different spots now, which is a learning curve for Odell and a learning curve for some of our other receivers, because they have to be able to play off of that. It's a learning process for a lot of different pieces that we have to learn. Nobody's, and I'm not panicking over it. We will get better in those areas, because you present a different set of problems when he's lined up on the strong side as opposed to the weak side. So now we have to just learn how to take that and use it as our advantage.
Freddie, can you address what makes you confident that you're going to get a lot better at play calling and in the hurry that you need to get better at it, and how will that manifest itself during the week in terms of what input you take from anybody, or how will that work?
Yeah, I think, when you start talking about specifics like that, I just know how the guys around me are. I think you take the sense of, you get a better feel for what people can do and what people can't do, or the better situations that they could be in relation to the situation that you're putting them in currently. And that's what you do. You do your work during the course of the week, and you call it on Sunday. If they do things differently, you make adjustments accordingly. I think we've been doing a good job of that. Now it just needs to get more consistent.
Ours getting better. The penalties. You had 3 penalties on the very first drive at home on offense. What's going on, do you think?
Well, I think we've done a better job of maintaining composure. Now the penalties you're talking about are, you're going to have some during the play type penalties with holdings. Sometimes the hand slides up to the face. You're going to have some of those. But what we have to do a better job of is maintaining our concentration and our focus on pre-snap penalties. That's the ones that I don't like having, or the pre-snap, post-snap penalties are the ones that either have to do with focus or composure. We've gotten better at the composure type penalties after the whistle. Now we've got to do a better job of maintaining focus, focus on the snap count, or snapping the ball when you're supposed to, or lining up properly. Those are the ones we need to get better at now.
Do you think Baker's bailing out of the pocket too early?
I think I need to do a better job of making him more comfortable in the pocket.
When you have a long injury report like you did this week, do you sit down with the people Saturday night or early Sunday morning and talk about how the personnel changes need to tweak the game plan, or how's that work?
Yeah, we visit as a staff constantly, every day, as far as, who's up, who's down. Preef needs to know who's up, who's down, who he can use, who's a backup. So all those things are a constant. It's always a fluid situation, especially when it happens on essentially a Friday.
Freddie,
So.
you referenced a couple times, not panicking in the situation. Given the people you've coached under, you've watched, how important is it in these kinds of situations for the head coach to not show panic?
I mean, that's why everything's going to run through me, I've got several stories to draw from, but one of the most, now, please, you guys don't run with this, all right? But one thing, a couple things stand out with me. It's one that we went to New England the next to last game of the year we went to the Super Bowl in '08, and they beat us 49-7. Now, that was the last time, I'm not sure, but I think that's the last time New England didn't go to the playoffs. Brady was hurt. Castle was playing quarterback for New England. They beat us 49-7, and I was kidding Chris Collinsworth about this the other day, and he labeled us the worst team to ever make the playoffs. All right, and then we went on a run. So it mattered what you were doing late in the year. All right, and another thing I would draw from on is in Dallas. We go to Carolina. We were hovering around 500. Don't quote me on the record, but we were around 4-4, something like that, maybe 4-5, something like that. It was the latter part of the year, or after the last half of the year. And Coach Parcells is going to make a quarterback change, and he puts Tony Romo in over Drew Bledsoe on the road in Carolina, and we won the game. So, I think during the course of my career, I've had several people to look at examples of, and this is probably a little longer answer than you wanted, but, I understand what's going on with our program right now. I also understand that for a lot of guys, including myself and our staff and our players, it's a learning curve, all right? The first game of the year was a learning curve. We've learned from that, all right? This is going to be a learning. We took things from New York that we can learn from. So it's different going on the road in the season than it is in the preseason. So that was a learning curve, all right? So there's a lot of things that are new for us right now, and I'm included in that, all right? But I'm not shying away from it. I'm not shying away from our shortcomings, my shortcomings. And I understand that my shortcomings indicate or put our guys in bad situations. They overcome some of it. They can't overcome some of the others. So we'll get better from it. Every step along the way, we will get better from it.
Freddie,
The
two hamstring injuries at practice, it's very unusual. What are your sports science people telling you about what's going on?
It was actually 3, all right? And it was all within 10 minutes of each other. So I don't know if that's contagious. I don't know if it's more of a general practitioner doctor question, in case something's running around the facility or something like that. I'm being funny, Tony. You can laugh, all right? It wasn't too funny though, right? But anyways, it wasn't too funny for me either on Friday. But yeah, it's just I think we need to look at it individually, collectively, and make sure that we're doing everything we need to. It probably falls more on the player knows what he needs, but I don't have an answer for you. I wished I did have an answer for you. I don't have an answer for you. I'll just be totally transparent. I just know, individually we need to make sure we're doing what we need to do to make sure we're ready. But the thing that throws you off in that, it happened, one period into practice. It wasn't like we weren't stretched and warmed up and ready to go, and we hadn't been doing things already. So,
5 practices are the key days to get through.
Yeah.
I mean, is there now the first month of the season is a problem area?
There's always, but you worry more about guys that have went from. I'm probably getting deeper than you really want to know, but you worry more about guys that go from not doing a lot in training camp to going 70 plays in the first regular season game. You'd like to try to build their, condition up from that standpoint, because being conditioned, the difference between being in shape and endurance is huge, because having endurance is being able to play a football play over and over and over and over again. So we want to build endurance with our guys, not necessarily that they're not in shape, just having endurance is different than being in shape, all right? So we need to make sure that we're doing that individually and collectively, but still with that, we were coming off a Monday game, so that was going through my head. Was it coming off of a quasi short week? But really, Monday night is not really a short week when it happens on the fourth day of the week, or third day of the week. So, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So hopefully I never see it again.
Freddie, after watching the tape, why do you think running the RPO looks last night was successful for you guys, and can we anticipate that being a staple of the offense going forward?
Well, it was, it was kind of a staple in the offense last year, and it was a staple earlier in this year. And again, I just need to do a better job calling them.
Last one here.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this out.
Threw you off your game a little bit.
No, while you're coming up the learning curve, why not throw play calling for a week at Todd Monken and just see if anything changes and gets better, given the sense of urgency for this football team right now?
Not going to happen. So.
Can you guys collaborate on anything, or is it just it has to be you?
It's me. It's my fault. It's no, it's me. Todd does a great job. Todd does a great job during the course of the week of making sure we stay on task, we stay organized, and all that kind of stuff. But when things mess up, it's going to be me.
Can I squeeze in one more? Myles Garrett.
He said one more.
I know, but he's a nice guy. Myles Garrett. Was he as aggressive last night as he had what was in those first two games?
I think they were doing a good job of making sure their edges were covered. But again, they opened up some pressure from inside by doing that, and that's what you run the risk of. We have, I think, again, I think our defensive front played well. I think our back end played. Our defense as a whole played well, and if we're not getting pressure off the edges, we're getting it up front. So, yeah.